change, accountability. They don't want the camera in the courtroom. We all know only the guilty or the ugly are afraid to face a camera. This is the cease and desist for all of these people I'm about to show on the screen. I don't want your money. I'm an entertainer. Any of this is not to be construed as legal advice or financial advice. Invest at your own risk, and unity is not known by defeat, and the illusion of separation's irrelevant. A formal cease and desist. Your signage is illegal, and your governance over sacred sacrament of cannabis, the ancient African medicine, your governance over that is illegal. You do not have the authority to govern an establishment of religion. Okay? Blessed love and respect going out to you and yours, your host, Sheriff Jimi Light. Okay, thank you. Let's get right into this. If no one knows, I'm going to keep railing y'all with repetition. We smoked a joint at the city council with the intent that the petition process has been perverted to try to get it on the ballot. So now we are invoking natural law, the same spirit that allowed our ancestors to separate from the tyranny of England, the king, queen. Right. Okay. Invocation of natural law. Cannabis was never illegal in the first place. The petition process has been messed up. So, like our ancestors before us, do an action. You make a physical statement like a sit-in. Hey, my identity is not illegal. I have unalienable rights, born as a human being. So I'm sitting in here letting you know I'm not illegal. That was the segregation paradigm, right? Now, it's the youth's turn to take the torch and show the death grip on the old ideologies, show them physically through action what's legal, what is illegal, and what do you do when everything has been gatekept and you've been criminalized. Well, you give a physical example of what is legal. Cannabis, perfectly natural, healthy for you. We came out of a time where it's okay to smoke cigarettes in bars in front of babies while you're holding them. Secondhand smoke from cigarette is terrible for you. I can't stand the smell. Secondhand smoke from cannabis, love it. It's good for you. It doesn't harm you. Okay? So there is a difference there. It should never be labeled in the mind. Marcus Garvey, you free the mind, ultimately the body will follow. Drugs and alcohol? No. It's alcohol's the hardest drug, the worst one. Lowers your temporal lobe. And then there's cannabis, sacred medicine. And then there's drugs. So it's drugs and cannabis, right? Drugs, which is also alcohol. That thing is the worst one. And cannabis. Okay, so the intention here, right? We're getting right into it. These people I have on the screen, this is a cease and desist. I was charged for possession of cannabis, which is an illegal charge to charge an individual, regardless of what the law says, because that's not a legal law. It's legally unsound. These people on the screen, you're getting the cease and desist from the sheriff right here. And this is the formal documentation. Anything you can and say will be used against you in the realms of the Most High Jah. Cease and desist, the Honorable Thomas E. Zimmerman. Your illegal signage in your courtroom pushes the future youth. Through the illegal signage, it creates an action that paints the individual as guilty until proven innocent. And then when they try to speak their mind, when someone comes along and knows the law, they try to speak their mind and then sit in to provide an example. They were called disrespectful. I was called disrespectful by the first bailiff that goes along with Thomas E. Zimmerman. big cease and desist. Without a doubt, anyone who walked through that door prior to me was subject to that illegal signage. So their due process has been infringed upon. And that is a violation, and you do not have the authority to create illegal boundaries, whether it's voluntarily or involuntarily. Cease and desist, remove the signage, and fix it. I didn't get to confront Zimmerman, so this is a little different. I'm starting with Zimmerman. I didn't get to confront him on this. I only got to make a video. I confronted my prosecutors first. That's who I'm only able to talk to. It's hard to find these judges and talk to them face to face. Jessica Ann Kerkhoff, to the left here, she was confronted twice. There's a YouTube video. Big cease and desist. She doesn't get to say, I don't know. Zimmerman might be able to get away with, I don't know. You get one, I don't know. Because how can I fault someone if the times change so fast? They need to know. There needs to be some mercy. You need to be updated, because there's no nefarious intent unless you've been formally or you've been made aware, brought up to date, right? Transparency, accountability, awareness. Zimmerman, I didn't get to confront him, right? The prosecutor in his room, they all told me to take off a hat. I didn't get to confront that prosecutor either, because when I confronted Ann, I couldn't get their names. They don't let me get their names. You're not supposed to talk in the courtroom. And they just keep throwing hurdles in front of you, so you can't get change, accountability. They don't want the camera in the courtroom. We all know only the guilty or the ugly are afraid to face a camera. Okay, so moving on, Jessica Ann Kerkhofs, she was confronted. This is the cease and desist for all of these people I'm about to show on the screen. A formal cease and desist. Your signage is illegal, and your governance over sacred sacrament of cannabis, the ancient African medicine, your governance over that is illegal. You do not have the authority to govern an establishment of religion. Okay? An establishment of religion is an idea or a physical place, and religion's root word, Latin and Greek, means to rebind to source or to reconnect. So whatever reconnects you to source, like a sacrament, is this establishment of religion. They all may get an I don't know on this, because this is the new youthful interpretation. But we're going to get into this. After this, any resistance, futile. Any resistance shows and highlights the incompetence of the system and the elects who are currently housing these positions. Okay. Now we're going to get into the real juicy stuff. Kerkhofs was confronted. That was a fail. You know, what I had to say is undeniable. Whether you like it or not, you call me crazy. It's sacred and you have no right to govern it. She was confronted. She can't say, I don't know anymore. Zimmerman's the only one who can say, I don't know. Next. Yohance, cease and desist. He was confronted. You can watch the video. His words contradict. And he tries to use, I think, as this sort of loophole to avoid liability. You need to know. You, in this position, need to know. You are held to a higher standard. With greater power comes greater responsibility. Go watch the video. Cease and desist. They are now have no choice but to try to put up as much resistance against me, because it is checkmate. They let me go, lawsuit, class action. They don't, and then we do it again. They fully resist, bigger lawsuit, class action, law changes. If you believe that cannabis is a sacred medicine to Rastafari, and that you can change the world with your voice and your presentation, then like, subscribe to the video, comment below, and ring these people. All you got to do is email them. Whatever email, tell them, Jimi Light, I'm with Jimi Light. Cannabis was never illegal or illicit in the first place. Cordially, please. That's all we need. Thank you. Okay. Super juicy stuff. Now the confrontation about the illegal signage. They all got it. They all got confronted about the illegal signage. After confronting Jessica, she's dodgy on my questions of why they're switching me courtrooms. Because she said, I don't know. They switch them once every month. She lied. That's not true, because I had Zimmerman twice in 2 different months. And then after talking to Jessica, something changed. I got a new judge, new bailiff. So we get to Lori J. Yardley. Big cease and desist. Big complaint, ethics complaint coming. She was confronted. I put a motion to dismiss. Cannabis was never legal in the first place. She denied the motion. And then it was confronted about the illegal signage. And she says, you know it's respectful to take your hat off in a court or a church. And I'm here telling you those traditions infringe upon the law. And you cannot have authority to exert them over people. You don't have qualified immunity exerting illegal authority. Okay, when you force someone to express themselves by telling them what to wear or what not to wear, you have reprieved and revoked their liberty. Liberty can only be revoked or reprieved once duly convicted of a crime. We all know this is the best country because of the First Amendment and because we are viewed as innocent until proven guilty. Okay. Cease and desist. You're in violation of my 14th, 13th, and First Amendment right. Every single one of you. And anyone who's walked through that door that you've subject to your illegal signage. And anyone who's walked through that door with a cannabis charge. Not your jurisdiction. You do not have the authority. Good day. Sheriff Jimi Light. So the bailiff that came with this also needs a complaint because while stating this, my liberty cannot be revoked unless duly convicted of a crime, she's quit talking to me. And she gave me this nasty look, and now I'm viewed as a criminal because I know the law, and your staff does not. What's good? Paid for what? Paying my taxes to pay you for what? I digress. Because that's what the class action's for. Yep. She was confronted. She said, don't care. Don't care about the U.S. Constitution. Don't care. I'm a tyrant. I got this position to be a tyrant. Don't care about the youth. Okay. Bless up. I wish curses upon no person. I and I, Rastafari, we stand alone. You're doing it. You're beautiful. You're golden, perfect, worthy, and true. I deserve to be here, and so do you. It's that saying, something like that. Bless up. Till the next one.